In a moment that caught the whole nation off guard, Barron Trump took to the stage during his father's inauguration, leaving everyone in stunned silence. His declaration holds the power to transform the very fabric of our reality. The air surrounding the Capitol buzzed with a palpable energy, a rich tapestry woven from threads of eagerness and unease. The moment Donald Trump took the oath as the 47th President of the United States was one that stirred a mix of hope and division across the land. The lenses swept across well-known faces as the sea of thousands erupted in cheers, their flags dancing in the air. Amidst the backdrop of political turmoil, the Trump family stood together, embodying resilience and solidarity. In a moment that captivated the audience, Donald Trump took the stage to present his second inaugural address, becoming the focal point of the event. The atmosphere buzzed with the rhythmic flow of his words as he painted a vivid picture of his aspirations for the coming 4 years, a discourse brimming with the daring spirit and assurance that his followers had grown to cherish. Yet, a subtle tension lingered, echoing through his words. He spoke to a nation where the rifts had deepened, and the dream of unity seemed to slip further from reach. As Trump finished his address and stepped away from the podium, the crowd burst into a cacophony of applause, a wave of enthusiasm washing over the room. Their faces, a tapestry of calm and dignity, captured the attention of the cameras, telling a story of heritage and honor. Barron, the youngest son of Melania Trump, has blossomed into a remarkable individual through the passage of time. She stood beside him, poised and majestic. Barron stood nearly 7 feet tall at the age of 18, his towering presence drawing attention even amidst his natural quietness and reserve. Then, a twist of fate unfolded. Barron Trump, clad in a sharp black suit, stepped forward as the applause began to fade. Initially, his movements were delicate, almost like he was rehearsing for a grand performance. Whispers of intrigue filled the air, overshadowing the crowd's cheers. People cast puzzled looks at one another, their minds swirling with questions about what was to come. Even his family seemed to pause, caught off guard for a fleeting moment. With a look that blended wonder and intrigue, Donald Trump turned his gaze toward his son. Barron straightened his tie, took a deep breath, and stepped confidently to the podium. The microphones captured the subtle whisper of his breath as he drew closer. The whispers faded into a profound stillness. The youngest Trump, having lived most of his life in the imposing shadow of his father's grand persona, stood poised to deliver his inaugural public address. In an instant, the atmosphere shifted. This had transcended the realm of a simple political ceremony. It was a tale unlike any other, filled with surprises and twists. Barron's demeanor was steady and focused, radiating an air of calm determination. With a steady gaze, he surveyed the crowd, searching for something or someone elusive. Today, he proclaimed, marks a moment that signifies not just a new chapter for my father, but for all of us as well. His voice flowed with a steady calmness, embracing a softness that drew listeners in. His words wove a spell over the audience, drawing them closer with every syllable. Who can truly decipher his intentions? What is it about this moment? Barron's calm presence dispelled any doubts, even in the face of these pressing questions. Barron's speech would not only capture the spotlight, but also spark a dialogue that would echo across the nation, surpassing all expectations. Barron's voice, measured and unwavering, seemed to carry the significance of the moment with it. He took a brief moment, as if weighing the importance of his words, and declared that today transcends the mere act of honoring a presidency. It invites a deep reflection on the kind of nation we dream of becoming. The crowd held a breathless hush, their minds swirling with uncertainty about the unfolding events. The air was thick with a blend of suspense and intrigue. Barron's tone was neither ostentatious, like his father's, nor polished, like that of a seasoned politician. It was an intensely personal, unfiltered, contemplative, and one-of-a-kind journey. He pressed on, sharing his thoughts not as the offspring of a leader, but as a young individual grappling with the trials he had experienced firsthand. He recognized, his eyes scanning the assembly, I have dedicated a considerable part of my existence to watching from the periphery, engaging with tales from all perspectives, exploring the lives of those who feel overlooked, and observing debates unfold on screen. For a long while, I held my tongue, convinced that it was not my place to voice my thoughts. His confession struck a chord with many in the crowd, especially the younger voices who often feel eclipsed in the realm of political conversation. Barron then shifted his tone, embracing a serene resolve in his words. Yet, choosing to stay silent has not brought about any solutions. In truth, it has merely intensified the predicament. For far too long, we have let anger and dread shape our identities, leading us down a path of fragmentation. Barron pressed on, undeterred, even as whispers floated through the crowd. He wove a narrative about the nation's political, cultural, and generational divisions, exploring the consequences that had unfolded from them. Yet, he chose not to linger on the troubles at hand. Instead, he turned his focus to solutions, unveiling a vision that was remarkably wise for someone of his age. He declared, "We are not required to reach a consensus on every matter," his voice gaining strength with each word he spoke. Yet, it is essential for us to unite in the belief that the future we dream of for this nation is a cause worthy of our enduring efforts. And this begins not with loud proclamations, but with a keen sense of awareness. The audience seemed captivated by his words. As they shifted in their seats, a tapestry of emotions unfolded across their faces, ranging from sheer astonishment to deep admiration. The comments made by Barron caught everyone off guard, leaving them surprised and intrigued. They flowed naturally, unburdened by political tension or premeditated scripts. They carried a sense of introspection, intimacy, and a surprising glimmer of hope. Then, the moment that would be forever engraved in the hearts and minds of everyone present unfolded. After pausing to gather his thoughts, Barron cast a glance at his family, then turned to face the audience with a calm but determined presence. Each one of us holds a piece of the puzzle that shapes the present condition of our nation, and within us lies the power to foster its transformation. Instead of sitting back and hoping someone else will step in to fix things, we ought to start by owning up to our own choices. For a brief instant, the stillness enveloped everything, heavy and profound. The audience sat in rapt attention, each person absorbing the weight of his words, the significance of the moment hanging palpably in the atmosphere. Barron wrapped up his words with a heartfelt message, standing firm in his conviction. "I humbly ask for just one thing if my generation is to take on the legacy of this nation. Let us embrace a legacy that fills our hearts with pride." The silence lingered as he withdrew from the podium, a moment steeped in reverence and an unsettling stillness where time seemed to stand still. As the moment unfolded, the audience burst into a wave of applause, building steadily and unmistakably. It was a different kind of explosion, one that didn't follow the usual script of political victories or the fervor of campaign rallies. It unfolded with intention, precision, and a sense of deep respect. The words that Barron Trump, the young one often shrouded in the shadows, had just shared resonated with the weight of both a challenge and a heartfelt plea. At long last, the country seemed open to hearing what was being shared. Yet, the question lingered as the applause echoed through the halls of the Capitol. Barron's words may echo as a brief flash of clarity, or could they ignite a deeper change within the heart of the nation? The crowd sat in rapt attention, enveloped in a profound stillness that stretched on as Barron gracefully withdrew from the podium. As the applause started to ripple through the audience, it swelled gradually, filling the room with a symphony of emotional gasps, cheers, and clapping hands. Yet, this recognition did not reflect the kind of triumph associated with political achievement or allegiance to a party. It was an unusual occurrence. The sound emerged from a crowd grappling with an unexpected wave of openness and sincerity. The speech took on a vibrant existence as it departed from the Capitol. As the final notes of the inauguration ceremony faded into the air, the digital realm erupted in a whirlwind of excitement and chatter. The world buzzed with the trending hashtags HATC, HBARON, and HASHTAGVOI, CEOFUNITY as clips of Barron's speech flowed across all major platforms, captivating audiences everywhere. Every word he spoke was examined by TikTok users, sparking debates on Twitter between those who praised his maturity and those who doubted his intentions. A video of Barron speaking on Instagram has captivated millions, drawing a tapestry of comments that weave together admiration and skepticism. The tale quickly captured the attention of cable news channels, which broadcast his speech in full and dedicated hours of programming to dissecting its meaning. His ability to rise above political divides garnered admiration from conservative commentators, who hailed him as a beacon of reason amidst the chaos. The reactions varied greatly on liberal platforms. As some listened intently, appreciating the genuine nature of his words, others cast doubts, suggesting he was merely trying to mend the tarnished image of the Trump family. Yet, even the harshest critics could not overlook the undeniable truth that his message was striking a chord. In the days that followed, notable voices from diverse fields shared their insights. Sometimes, the most surprising voices resonate the strongest, tweeted Oprah Winfrey. Barron Trump today illuminated the power of optimism in our lives. In contrast, late-night comedians took on a more sardonic tone, poking fun at the notion that Barron's speech might have been orchestrated for political gain or penned by someone else. The sheer magnitude of conversation, regardless of the varied responses, stood as a testament to one undeniable truth. People were weaving tales in conversation. A multitude of young souls found themselves resonating with Barron's words, perhaps explaining the surprising responses that followed. A group of high school students captured their thoughts in recordings, reflecting on his message. Many shared how it inspired them to engage more deeply in their communities. Barron's speech sparked a wave of conversations about leadership and the duties of the upcoming generation on college campuses. Furthermore, the address ignited a conversation about the essence of authenticity and the nuances of privilege. Critics painted a picture of Barron's upbringing, nestled in the lap of luxury, suggesting that his plea for unity might ring hollow to those grappling with the struggles of life in America's most marginalized communities. A widely shared tweet suggested that it's easy to talk about shared experiences when one has never had to fight for their own place in the world. Yet, for every critical post, there were many voices that rose in defense, suggesting that his genuine nature and youthful perspective made his words deserving of reflection. The responses were remarkable, even among the Trump family. Family members revealed that Barron's choice to speak was entirely his own, leaving his siblings in astonishment. Ivanka Trump, often seen as the family's voice in matters of diplomacy, is said to have confided in a close associate her unwavering pride in him, declaring, "I have never been more proud of him." In contrast, Donald Trump, known for his commanding presence in the public arena, chose to adopt a surprisingly subdued stance on his son's speech, leading many to wonder what his true feelings might be. As the whirlwind of media attention continued, a singular truth emerged. Barron Trump stepped into the spotlight. His words, seen as either deep or theatrical, urged people to stop and reflect on the ideas of responsibility, unity, and the possibility that a genuine moment can still echo in the most divided of times. Yet, a more profound question emerged as the nation pondered over his words. Could this have been a fleeting moment of togetherness? Or might it be the beginning of something that lasts far beyond this moment? A deeper question arose as the audience reflected on Barron's address. What inspired him to take on such a pivotal role on that grand stage? This was a remarkable choice for someone who had deliberately steered clear of the spotlight for most of his life. Barron's close acquaintances started to unveil the layers of the young man who masked his public persona. At St. Andrew's Episcopal School in Maryland, his teachers painted a picture of a reflective student, one who found value in listening rather than speaking, often absorbing the rich tapestry of debates and discussions around him without stepping into the fray. A former teacher reminisced that even though he may not have been the loudest person present, his words always carried weight and meaning. Fellow students shared similar feelings. Barron's towering presence and well-known surname made him hard to overlook, yet he carried an unexpected air of humility. A former classmate from his private school days shared that he never took advantage of his family's name. He sought to reduce it as much as possible. He yearned to be recognized for who he truly was, rather than where he came from. Barron's viewpoint seemed to be shaped by the contrasting facets of his life. On one hand, he was the youngest son of a figure whose legacy sparked intense debate and division in the annals of modern history. On the other hand, he was a young soul navigating the journey of self-discovery. Friends from his recent time at New York University's Stern School of Business shared tales of his insatiable curiosity and quest to understand the world around him. One of his peers revealed that he was always immersed in books and asking questions. he boldly ventured into the realm of difficult topics. He found himself captivated by the quest to understand the motivations that shape the views of others, even when those views clash with his own. Barron had been waiting for this moment in the shadows for months, building the suspense behind closed doors. A close friend of the family shared that he was deeply affected by the divisions he witnessed in the nation and the harsh criticism directed at his family. He understood that his surname shaped the way others perceived him, casting shadows of preconceived notions in their minds. He yearned to unveil his authentic self to the world. He approached the decision to speak at his father's inauguration with great thought and consideration. Barron poured his heart and soul into crafting his remarks, spending weeks refining drafts and seeking insights from a trusted circle of confidants. He yearned for every term to echo his own beliefs and principles, untouched by the hands of political advisors or the whispers of relatives. A dear friend confided that this was his time to shine. He was not trying to embody his father or the administration. He spoke with a voice that was distinctly his own. His inner journey shone through in his serene, steady, and deeply sincere presence during the speech. Barron may not have been the loud or charming sort, yet his quiet assurance held great weight. With each deliberate pause and measured gesture, he wove a tapestry of meaning, revealing his keen awareness of the power held within his words. In that moment, Barron became acutely aware of the lurking dangers, even as he remained steadfast in his efforts. He understood that his words would be examined closely, that his intentions would be doubted, and that he could potentially encounter backlash. Yet, he chose to share his words, driven by the belief that even the faintest spark of hope deserved to be kindled. He had shared with a friend that it is truly meaningful if I can make even one person feel acknowledged. Barron's viewpoint was marked by a rare blend of bravery and deep self-reflection. He was merely sharing his thoughts without any intention of proving himself or making a grand declaration. He simply wished to speak openly, to bridge a gap that he felt had grown far too vast. By doing so, he managed to seize the attention of a nation that, for the first time, seemed ready to pause and truly hear. Yet, as Barron's motivations unfolded, a deeper question began to take shape. Could his message endure the unforgiving landscape of public discourse, or would it be swallowed by the cacophony of skepticism and discord? Barron's speech resonated deeply, sending ripples of influence that reached far beyond the steps of the Capitol. In the days that followed the inauguration, it emerged as the centerpiece of national conversation. His words wove a tapestry that left political analysts, social commentators, and everyday citizens grappling with their deeper meaning. In a world swirling with division, some viewed it as a rare glimpse of clarity, while others dismissed it as a momentary dream, too fragile to last. One truth remained undeniable, no matter how one viewed it. A remarkable endeavor had been set in motion by Barron Trump, one that demanded attention and could not be overlooked. Subtle yet impactful changes started to unfold across the land. In the vibrant city of San Diego, a group of high school students came together to create a community forum, a space where voices from different political backgrounds could engage in meaningful dialogue about local issues. They brought together knowledgeable speakers from diverse backgrounds to share their insights, creating a conversation that flowed naturally and genuinely, thanks to Barron's focus on truly hearing others. A student organizer shared that if Barron can find the courage to speak up during such a pivotal moment, we too can rise to the occasion in our own community. In the heart of Cincinnati, a grassroots initiative known as Common Ground emerged, driven by the noble aim of bringing together residents once separated by their political beliefs. The organizers found their muse in Barron's speech, embracing his phrase "beginning with ourselves" as their rallying cry. Rather than diving into the complexities of political policy debates, attendees gathered weekly in cozy coffee shops and quiet libraries, sharing their personal tales and experiences with one another. The endeavor demonstrated that even the smallest gestures of togetherness could create a ripple effect, swiftly gathering strength and influence. The ripple effect was just as significant on social media. Amidst the chorus of criticism aimed at their perceived political apathy, a vibrant group of young individuals took to platforms like TikTok and Instagram, weaving their thoughts and reflections on Barron's message into the digital tapestry of social discourse. Participants were invited to highlight how they could play a role in closing gaps by engaging with videos featuring Barron's speech challenge, marked with the iconic hat. This involved guiding younger students and offering support at shelters. The hashtag sparked a wave of attention, turning a solitary address into a phenomenon that swept across the digital landscape. Yet, not every response was met with enthusiasm. Barron's speech faced scrutiny from critics who argued that someone raised in privilege could never truly grasp the struggles faced by everyday Americans. A notable political commentator waved aside his remarks, deeming them well-meaning yet naive, for they lacked any tangible solutions. This backlash sparked a counter-response, as supporters highlighted that the essence of hope was the true power behind Barron's speech, rather than the specifics of its policy. The ripple of influence was unmistakably felt throughout the Trump family. Melania Trump is said to have shared her joy in her son's bravery, calling it a true testament to his spirit. Barron's elder siblings, known for their spirited participation in their father's political pursuits, seemed to be truly touched by Barron's choice to carve out his own journey. Eric Trump spoke to a journalist. He has always been the reserved one, but when he shares his thoughts, you pay attention. In a surprising twist, the man known for commanding attention seemed to step back, granting his youngest son the space to shine and carve out his own path. Though he chose to keep his thoughts on the speech to himself, whispers from those in his inner circle revealed that the former president had quietly praised Barron's heartfelt sincerity and graceful composure. As the tale unfolds, an informant revealed that he recognized it was Barron's time to shine, a moment he cherished deeply. Barron's speech echoed through various corners of society, leaving a lasting impression as the weeks unfolded. Universities wove snippets of his insights into the fabric of their leadership seminars. His plea for togetherness resonated in the heartfelt messages shared by both churches and synagogues. His message wove its way into team-building exercises by corporations, highlighting the vital importance of empathy and understanding in the workplace. Though small in stature, these ripples radiated a vibrant energy that could not be overlooked. They stood as a gentle reminder that transformation often unfolds quietly, without the need for grand gestures or sweeping changes. At times, it begins with a lone voice, a voice that bravely rises to proclaim, "We can do better." Yet, as the echoes lingered on, a relentless question remained. Can this wave of energy lead to lasting transformation, or will it fade away into history like countless other fleeting instances? As the echoes of Barron Trump's speech faded away, the deeper meaning began to seep into the minds of those who had listened. His message transcended the realms of politics, power, and family legacy. It was a tale woven around the simple yet profound act of connection. It was a choice between embracing compassion rather than turning a blind eye, fostering understanding instead of allowing division to fester, and summoning courage in place of succumbing to complacency. Barron's speech called upon every person, regardless of where they come from or what they believe, to reflect on their own roles in shaping the nation's present condition. His call to start with ourselves struck a chord, as it placed the onus for change squarely on each person, rather than on a far-off leader or government decree. It was a message that reached beyond the confines of political beliefs, reminding us all of the shared humanity that binds us together. Barron expressed that the fractures would only grow more profound if we fail to find a shared understanding. In a realm where division often seems impossible to bridge, this idea struck a deep chord. Barron did not claim to hold all the answers, nor did he offer a remedy for every problem. In response to this, he took a step that carried much greater weight. He painted a vivid picture of how transformation can spark from the smallest of actions, a heartfelt conversation, a meaningful gesture, or the profound impact of truly listening in the moment. The essence of his speech carried a deep and resonant lesson for the youth of today. Barron, a young soul navigating a world filled with chaos and fury, was a character that resonated with many. His words ignited a spark within them, making them realize that even the smallest of voices could resonate and create ripples of change. A young person from Arizona took to social media to express how Barron's example has sparked a realization within her that one person's actions can set off a ripple, growing into a powerful wave of change. Barron's message wove together threads of hope and a call to action for the seasoned generation. It stood as a testament that the weight of shaping the future does not rest solely on the young. His words inspired them to step into a future ripe for inheritance, a realm built on unity and cooperation rather than separation. "The legacy we create will shape the world our children will come to know," he had proclaimed. "Let us weave a narrative that fills their hearts with pride." Yet, the lesson to be learned extended beyond mere personal deeds. Barron's remarks served as a guiding light for how communities, organizations, and even nations might embark on the journey of healing. His call for unity was not a simple wish for agreement, but a heartfelt invitation to rekindle the strength found in empathy. He expressed that the aim is not to triumph in debates. It involves understanding the reasons that drive the feelings of the other party. The power of the message lay in its straightforwardness. Barron's words shine brightly with clarity and sincerity, cutting through the fog of political rhetoric that often feels convoluted and out of reach. They were crafted not to sway or control. Instead, they mirrored the dreams of a young man yearning for a brighter tomorrow. The underlying message was clear. Unity unfolds, not in sweeping actions, but in the choices we make each day. It is the choice to hear rather than shout, to support rather than criticize, and to find shared understanding even amidst challenges. Barron's speech illuminated the truth that within each of us lies the power to mend divisions, as long as we are ready to embrace the challenge. Yet, one lingering worry took root as Barron's words wove themselves into the fabric of shared memory. Would his words ignite a spark for lasting transformation, or would they dissolve into yet another ephemeral chapter in the nation's saga? Barron Trump's speech transcended the ordinary. It emerged as a powerful summons for action, introspection, and change. His words carried an undeniable truth. The destiny of the nation hinges on the choices made by every person, not just the deeds of one leader or a powerful family. Yet, his words were brief, but their impact lingered, urging everyone who listened to ponder how they might contribute to transformation. His speech focused on the subtle nuances and the quiet changes that often go unnoticed. It was a tale woven from the threads of ordinary choices that shape the very fabric of our community. It was a choice to lend an ear to a colleague with a contrasting political viewpoint instead of diving into a debate. It was a journey of forging a bond with a neighbor you had never spoken to, or uncovering a common passion with a family member with whom you had clashed for years. Each of us faced a daunting challenge in taking that initial step, however small, to begin closing the gaps that seemed so unyielding. Barron's message of hope and accountability faced its share of challenges along the way. Many were doubtful, pondering if mere words could truly bring about transformation. Yet, as the echoes of his words spread far and wide, from community gatherings to intimate discussions at home, it became clear that heartfelt expressions possessed the power to inspire change. The path forward was clear to all who felt the resonance of his words. They began to engage with their communities, weaving connections, and making small but meaningful changes to their everyday lives. And the message echoed for those who questioned his resolve. Change does not hinge on the faith in the vision of one person alone. It calls for a belief in the presence of a better possibility. Barron's speech wove a tapestry that would forever shape the legacy of his family. This moment offered a surprising insight into the sincerity and vulnerability of a young man resolutely carving his own path, even as the Trump name continues to evoke strong reactions. It revealed how the power of words can bring people together, even in the most unexpected situations, instead of creating division. The inquiry lies not in whether Barron's speech will linger in our minds as we reflect upon his words. The real inquiry lies in how we will embrace the lessons he shared with us. The lasting impact of his time at the podium hinges on how we, both as individuals and as a nation, choose to respond. Shall we allow his words to fade away into the pages of time? Shall we carry forth their message, using it as a guiding light to weave a future built on respect and understanding? We hold the power to decide. Each of us holds the power to take small steps that can mend the rifts threatening to divide us. As Barron highlighted, true transformation begins with the smallest of steps. So, what will your next move be? We invite you to share in the comments what inspires you to create change. Furthermore, for those who hold dear the strength found in hope and togetherness, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to uncover more tales that highlight the remarkable impact we can create as a united force. This tale does not center exclusively on Barron Trump. This relates to every one of us and the future we dream of creating.